just gotta run, and ain't nobody gonna hold you, and everybody needs someone. Don't try to go alone. Don't say I never told you. When you wake up tomorrow and your heart ain't feeling right, I'd love to steal up all of them, say goodbye to pain and sorrow every day and every night. I once heard somebody say, this is living don't come easy, and you never find your way. And if you try and walk alone, you're already lost believing. And if the word rings true, and there's darkness before light, find somebody and get together, make love last forever, every day and every night. When the whole damn world is beating you down, what about when you get burned from the tricks you never learned, and now you're dead on the ground? The story's sad, but it's true, and it can get the best of anyone. Loneliness won't get you through. You're gonna need to find a friend, gonna need to find someone. And if you wake up tomorrow and your heart ain't feeling right, find love to steal or borrow, say goodbye to pain and sorrow every day and every night. Every day and every night.
Happy Hump Day, everybody. And how about a little, let's see, it's the 1st of September, the first day of the last quarter, the first day of the rest of your life, and it's Hump Day. Welcome to the Scoop with Barb. I'm glad you're here. We're going to talk about, hey, Beetle Maniac, we're going to talk about why we're all so drawn to drama, and the psychological reasons why we do that. And I mean, it's for me, like, I'll watch somebody and I'll be like, I can't believe you did that. I cannot believe you said that. How dare you? And then the next time they're live, I'm like, oh, let's go see what they're saying today. It's just, part of it's just human nature. And we're missing stuff in our life. Sometimes we hurt each other. Oftentimes on here, we hurt each other. What have y'all been up to today? Anything? What is that drive? What is it? Is it something that we're missing in our own lives? Yeah, and we just keep watching the drama and the everything but drama on YouTube is boring. I just heard somebody saying that somebody was boring, and I was like, but they're not boring when they do drama. They're not boring. Maybe it's that you're not getting fed, you're not getting what you want out of them, but maybe they're really educating you, or maybe they're really, I don't know, covering true crime or something. But we've gotten so used to the drama that we run to it. And look, I watch, like, I'm into drama in sports even, because, well, my Indiana Fever lost last night in the playoffs. Hey, Betty Dan Boop, with the star person that was left on the team of injuries going down, and they pulled Kelsey Mitchell. They brought a stretcher out there for her, but she didn't use it. But she ended up having a lot of cramps in her legs, and she missed about half of the third quarter and the whole fourth quarter. And then our other really good player that was left after all the injuries is Aaliyah Boston, and she fouled out. So we're down like around 7, and third quarter, and I was like, well, this is over, but I'm going to keep watching because I love this team. And then they took it to overtime, and they just didn't make it in overtime. But yeah, drama draws the crowd. If you do drama, if you review somebody, people flood in. If you talk about other stuff, I mean, and I'm just saying in this community, because you can watch the views fall for everybody if they're not, really, doing a lot of drama. But humans love drama, and we also despise it, right? But what I was saying about sports is, like, the Razorback football coach got fired, and the people who cover the Razorbacks are gaining, they're getting all these views, and one of them they don't have, but like they're really good, but they don't have that many subscribers. And they had so many people the other day, and they're like, sub up, y'all aren't subbing up, but you're all watching. And he has a paid program on a website, so they're always trying to get you to buy into that. But whenever the drama hits, whenever a coach is on the hot seat, whenever a coach actually gets fired, and now we're in the middle of a season, and we've got a coaching search, an interim coach stepping up, which happens to be a coach that got fired for lying about messing around with one of his people that he had hired when he wrecked on the motorcycle. So, we're all drawn to drama. It's not me or you or them or they or those people. We all are. Well, I can't say all. I'm sure there's some people in the world who are just completely opposed to it. But even with TV shows, sports, the celebrities, it's the gossip. It's the gossip that brings us in, and it's the dramatic takes on it. Betty Dan Boop, it's good to see you. Beatlemaniacs, good to see you. And Mia Moore Christo, good to see you. So what do y'all think? What is it for y'all? Like, do y'all catch yourself watching, like, especially on YouTube, because that's where we are, but do you watch more drama, or do you watch, I mean, even if you watch wrecks or like DUIs, I watch a lot of the people getting arrested for DUIs or stealing, because I like the body cams more than there's people who do car chases and stuff. I watched this one because I know this guy. I knew this guy before, and he does car chases and state troopers and stuff in Little Rock. And I'm from Little Rock, so I know the streets, and I'm like, oh, I know that's, it's just weird. Yes, everybody loves a train wreck, and we're all on board for it. And it just keeps, it just keeps barreling down at us. Let's see how this works. It didn't work. Y'all hear that? Train wreck. Can y'all hear that whistle? Did y'all hear it? Oh, you watch travel? What else do y'all watch on here? Like, what kind of travel? Beatlemaniac. And you still watch drama? Hey, Holly, you could hear it? I didn't even know StreamYard had the sound thing. I was going to try to figure out the soundboard that came with my mic. And then I found they have some sounds in there and you can add your own. So I don't think you can add a whole lot, but you heard it. Choo choo. It's crazy. So, there's a way to look at this on the psychological level. Like, what is going on with people? Some people are drawn to drama because it offers stimulation and excitement. We get those things in our brain that kick off. It provides an escape from the monotony of our lives. I mean, I live, pretty boring life. And so watching all that on YouTube's kind of fun sometimes, except when you're in it. And when you're in it, it's kind of, it's stressful. But if you're looking at it from the outside and you're not the one they're talking about, it's kind of fun. Oh, really, Betty Dan Boop? Betty Dan Boop, she's got it. She says, I'd rather watch most anything other than the hateful behavior of a few creators. Disney and Hollywood. Oh, okay. Well, I like to watch, my basketball sports is over. I'm not watching the other two teams that are left in the playoffs. I don't like them. And then yesterday, I know y'all don't watch the WNBA, but one of the lead players was in the MVP candidates for the season and has been MVP before for the season. She came out and went off on the commissioner of the league, the lady that's in charge of everything, and basically told people that she had said to her in private about Caitlin Clark, how she had said Caitlin Clark should be just grateful that they brought her in so that she could make all these millions of dollars she was making before she got there. So that's a big drama going on right now. So I got all that going on. But yeah, I've got some notes over here on this computer. So I'm just looking at that. Some people are drawn. I said it offers stimulation and excitement and provides an escape from the monotony of the day or sense of purpose and control by creating or engaging in conflict. So if you're a chatter and you're, having fun in chats and everything, you feel part of. You feel part of that, and it's fun, and it's a place to go. And if somebody's just talking about like this, it's kind of boring, right? Barb's boring. I hear that a lot. But when I do go over something, a whole lot of people will come in and they like me, and everything. So I don't know. I know drama sells, and that's fine. I'm glad for anybody to be watching. It's a true crime inside the true crime. Yeah, and it's the whole thing with I wonder if that's my package getting here. It's a mailman. I know Caitlin Clark is so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Deeper psychological factors can also play a role, such as using drama as a distraction from personal struggles, seeking validation or power, dealing with low self-esteem, or being conditioned to emotional intensity from childhood experiences. And I know in the beginning when I came on and Natasha Cooper was, I never was in her community, although somebody said that the other day on a panel to 16 or 1700 people, but I never was in Natasha's community. I started watching Natasha when she was restreaming Gabby Petito missing, and so I was all new to YouTube, other than just here and there seeing YouTube videos, but I didn't know how it worked, and I thought it was her. I thought it was the news, but it was her showing the news, and that's how I got to watching her, and then her negativity and everything, and I started covering her. That was all. Thank you, Betty Dan Boot. I know, but they like to say that, so I can't be everything to every person, and I can only be me. And I think I have things to offer that maybe other people don't. So Beatlemaniac, I'm not a snowflake, but also I cannot handle the channels that have one cuss word after the other. It's not necessary if you want to get your point across. Beatlemaniac, I listen to that and it's like F word, boo, F word, C, F word. You know, it's so much that that's all you hear. And to each their own, right? Everybody has a way of doing things. And if that's what they want to watch, that's fine. But I really want to watch things that make me feel good. And sometimes drama makes me feel good. I got to admit. What I was going to say about Natasha. So my childhood experience was she reminded me a lot. She reminds me a lot of my mother. And when she gets angry, like Natasha, when she gets angry, reminds me of behaviors of my mother. And so I think a part of that was me taking out, you know, my anger at my own mother because she reminded me of her, like the deep sighs and the just stuff that just things that reminded me of her. And that's one reason why I didn't like her. And then she was she's a scammer. Okay. And I wanted to go after scammers because I'd been scammed by somebody. I said a year ago, the drama is true crime and replaces soap operas of TV days. Yeah, Mia Moore. It really, you know, I grew up watching those. I grew up in the 60s and 70s. And so I was watching Days of Our Lives. I watched what my mother and my grandmother watched, you know, because back then you didn't even have any options. If I stayed home from school sick, I would stay with my grandparents and they would have the TV on their PTL and, you know, in the morning and then their soap opera or noon, you know, like the news at noon and then their soap operas. And that's what we watched. I watched the news for true crime. So yeah, so you really want to see the true crime and not the drama. And the channels that try to do both on the same channel, it just doesn't work. Now, Every Day with Jay, I really like that she's doing a lot of drama, but she keeps it separate. Like if she's doing, and she has a big channel, a way bigger channel over in true crime, and she does true crime there, and she doesn't cross the two. But people like, well, Brittany does that. She just goes back and forth and does the same thing on both channels. And that's too confusing. She doesn't even ever know which channel she's on because she's like Green Team or Gummy Squad, you know. You still watch the soaps. I was General Hospital. I worked for a lady who recorded all her, this was back again before streaming, and she recorded her daytime soaps. And then at night, she would walk on her treadmill and watch her soaps. Because we sat all day. She's an accountant and we sat all day. Yeah, I just want to hear, like, if I'm watching true crime, I don't want the drama in there. So I appreciate that. But, you know, you get a thrill and excitement and a lot of laughter sometimes. I mean, sometimes don't you watch some of the drama and you're just double over laughing, or you get tickled especially when the creator gets tickled. Your grandma kept you informed. Yes, I looked forward to watching my recordings every time. Yeah. And on TV, like what shows do you enjoy on television? Do you enjoy, you know, do you watch education? I like the drama TVs, like I can't wait till the new 911 starts because it's in Nashville. I think that'll be fun. I watched all the other 911 shows and, you know, emergency workers and it's going to be in Nashville. So that'll be kind of cool because I mean, I've been there and, you know, so, and then you got thrill and excitement. You can get an adrenaline rush. You can get those, you know, the escape. You get those I don't know if you get endorphins or I don't know which brain chemicals you get, but it's thrilling and exciting. And it's also thrilling and exciting to be part of it. You want to be part of it. Supernatural shows. Cool. And then the distraction from personal issues. For me, there's a lot. You know, if I'm worrying about, you know, I got to deal with this and I got to do this, and you know, right now I got appointments I need to be making to, doctors and my dogs and all this stuff. And I just keep putting it off. And then I watch, I'll spend all day watching YouTube, and I'm like, don't, you got to do this. But sometimes it's hard to pull away from the, hey, postcards, good to see you, endorphins. And like with movies, I used to like thrillers a lot, but it has to, like, I don't know if I have ADHD, but it's like it really has to pull me in, or I can't stay focused because I'm looking at my computer, and there's this little game I play on my laptop that is busy hands time. And so, but the escape from personal problems and making you feel more alive. I mean, if you're totally bored and you watch something that's exciting and you're part of it because you're in the chat, or you're even going up on panels, that's fun, and the distraction from personal issues. So you get temporary relief from your own emotions while you're watching somebody else fail, or, somebody else is having a problem, and it makes us feel better about ourselves. I do, Beatlemaniac. I get totally sidetracked. Lily Eve, hello. You should watch the new thriller movie coming out soon called The Housemaid. Okay. What's going to be on? I've been watching a show on Netflix. I forgot what it's called. It's that they're at a school, and they're doing crazy stuff to the kids, and I'm almost done with it. My attention span has narrowed or something. I watch movies infrequently. I used to love movies. Now at 60, I like things that require less attention. I do watch a lot of the series on Netflix and the Hulu. And then you've got little, I never sit and watch like a whole one all the way through without getting up or, going outside with the dogs. Because even when I don't have to walk them, they could go out in my fenced-in backyard. I go out with them most of the time. Thus, I've got a whole bunch of ant bites on my foot. And I got more this morning. I'm like, why are these ants biting me? But yeah, focusing on somebody else's drama distracts from our own, and it makes us feel, part of that. Like I've been saying, part of, because I think that's what a lot of this is for. Some of us are lonely. I don't feel lonely. I don't sit here and think I'm lonely because I'm kind of a loner anyway. Like not in a bad way. It's just I'm not a social butterfly, and so me being at home, I'm not lonely so much that I'm like, because I got my dogs and everything, but nobody to talk to. And the internet, where, YouTube gives us a place where we can talk to other people, which I can't do if I'm just sitting here in my house. Oh, it's in the theater first. Yeah, I haven't been to the theater in years. I love series, dating shows, all the boating below deck stuff. Yet movies I watch less. Yeah, maybe because they're not as good as they were. So boredom or monotony, some people find drama to be more interesting alternative to mundane existence. Isn't that kind of sad? That feels kind of sad to me. My mundane existence makes me watch drama. Well, kind of does. Hey, Lily Eve. Hope you guys like it. I like to stay home, so I'm on YouTube a lot more. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I stay home a lot. I only go out when I have something I have to go do. I got to go somewhere tomorrow. Some people find drama more interesting alternative to mundane existence, creating excitement through conflict, gossip, and exaggeration. And I couldn't tell you one job that I've had that didn't have drama going on with the employees. There was always, a troublemaker or a bad boss or just, I don't know if it's women or I don't know why we're dramatic people, why we always have to fight and bicker and everything. The drama can make you feel needed, powerful, or significant, especially if you feel invisible in your calm daily life. I do. I feel invisible. I feel invisible if I go in a chat. For the most part, most people don't know me, and they don't, or the chat's moving so fast, and I don't even see that somebody might have said hi to me. But I was looking at, it's a thriller. Is there a cost? A cast of characters: a Woody, a Cliff, not just. Oh, it's not just women. Also, anything with Johnny Depp or Robert Downey Jr. Are they still around? So you feel needed, you feel part of, you feel powerful, you get things, your body produces things that make you feel good. Then you think everything else is boring because, that was really crazy. Did you see what happened? And then everybody's talking about what happened and all that stuff. And even negative attention can feel better than no attention. Who agrees with that? Which drives people to create more chaos. So if you're in the middle of the drama, well, you're getting attention. And I can think of somebody right now who's doing that on YouTube, and she has just gone off the deep end. So, it's not new to us, and it's not anything that, won't happen now and again and in a year or two. It's on a cycle kind of. But they're getting a lot of attention, negative, probably not any positive, except maybe people are giving them money. So you're dramatic and crazy acting, and people give you money. That sense of identity, if you're low self-esteem or insecure, and you can play the role of the victim or hero to cope with feelings of worthlessness. And so you do what, Betty? Hey, William, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I got hot because I've been cooking, and then when I took my shower, and it's like kind of hot today, and I don't have air really in this room, and I'm sweating, and it's making my glasses roll off my nose. Do you know who I'm talking about? Do you think if everybody just stopped talking about her, she would continue to try to cause more drama? Are we talking about the same? Are we talking about Moon? I'll just say it. I mean, I haven't been watching, but I've been seeing comments about it and stuff. Is that who you were talking about? I've managed many, and both men and women get caught up in office gossip. There's always a busybody, a perfectionist, a mole, a slacker, a joker among every group of employees. Here on YouTube, their own shows. Okay, I gotcha. Yep. Let's see. I worked in a large office where it was one big room, and we were all in this one big room, and there was stuff going on with that. And I worked in different office settings. Oh no, were you talking about BJ? I'll bring up BJ because I do think that if she stopped, but you can't stop for a day or two, right? You have to stop long enough for people to go find somebody else. And I left the drama because I couldn't handle what was happening to me. And I think people stopped talking because I wasn't doing live streams, and I wasn't talking about people at all. And so you have to completely, in my opinion, you would have to completely stop, and then go do your true crime, BJ. Go do that. Don't fall asleep. Don't give people anything to go at you about. Do a good true crime. Don't go in there and and nod off, don't have someone in the background saying the craziest stuff. The interruptions with the kids, I don't think that would be a problem if everything else was under control. Because I think people understand that. But it's just crazy. Yeah. Open concept. Yeah, so I think I think there are people on YouTube who've never had a lot in, like a job where they were of any importance, any kind of leadership role. They've not had any kind of attention, and they get on YouTube and they can say the nastiest things, and they're popular, like crazy popular. Well, who wouldn't keep doing that, right? You wouldn't keep doing that, because for me, I do enjoy YouTube, and I do want people to watch my channel, and I do want my channel to grow and all those things. But I've had real life things that I've done that I feel like are way more important than my YouTube channel, like getting a degree at 40 years old. Some of the jobs that I've had, some of the people that I've met, things that I've done in my life, a book I wrote, things like that make me, this isn't do or die for me, or it's not, oh my God, it's just like, I wish I could do better, but I just want to be me, and I want to be real, and I'm not going to, do the things that some people do that get attention. That's because it's not me. But if it's you, that's cool. Postcard says it has to evolve and change, move in a new direction, be honest, if covering cases, really try to be respectful, certainly don't become too involved with parents of missing kids. It can cloud judgment. Yeah, I think that's a big mistake to when there's especially two sets of parents and they've ended up on opposite sides, and you've got a child missing. And again, those are real feelings that these people have, and butting into the middle of that, getting involved emotionally, that can cause problems for everybody. It could even some of the things could actually mess with a case. William says he said some bad things on YouTube, but is changing his ways. Jobs teach us to play well with others, other skills, other viewpoints, other outside lives, education. We know how to be professional over sensationalism. Yeah, postcards, because if you haven't had a job in the real world, you didn't learn any of that. Where would you have learned any of that? Going to college, you learn different outside the box thinking, things that you never thought of before. You learn about, like, I remember we had to write a paper and choose a side of whether we were for or against whichever side we chose. We had to write the paper on convincing everybody, it was persuasive writing class, that we were right about the death penalty. And doing that, I learned I've always been kind of on the fence, but I lean way more now towards the side of no death penalty, because too many people have had their lives taken and they were not guilty. And it's a matter of if you have enough money, if you have the right attorney. A lot of times, I hate to say it, but the color of your skin, and there's so many things that go into that. And a lot of times people get convicted and they really didn't do it. So there's that. And so you learn these life skills in the real world, but I don't think you learn that on YouTube. Then being aligned with one and getting into the lawsuits, all was counterproductive for her channel's long-term goals. The lawsuits, the C&Ds, I'm taking your channels down. It looks like they're botting somebody. I don't know who is botting. Clue this morning, she started like 3 live streams and her views amounts were going up and down, and They say that's somebody buying views and it's messing with their channel. I mean, all that kind of stuff's ridiculous. She dropped out of school. She's maybe missed some learning. Be humble and get caught up. It's okay. Hey, Olap, what's up? Olap. And she suffers from diabetes. Just lies when the truth would fit better. Miss you know who. Yeah, it was really weird. I was in there watching while I was cooking and stuff. Oh, it was in Jay's the other night, I believe. Who else had it? Another thing, another reason that we may be drawn to the drama is our childhood experiences. Like I just said, my mother, we don't have the best relationship, and we, I have unfinished business with all that. And so we're used to early exposure to chaotic environments. Emotional neglect or unpredictable situations can condition a person to associate conflict with feeling seen or valued. So if you feel invisible and you're in the middle of a conflict on YouTube, all of a sudden, wait, I do exist. Somebody does know who I am. Now, I don't like that. Like I'm not the one who wants to go back and forth or do any of that. So no, I'm not drawn to that. I'm drawn to watching that, not being part of it when people come at me. But we're used to a chaotic environment, emotional neglect, just bad conditions. That's probably why I live alone, because I just can't like deal with people. Definitely botting. Public lives. Just do better. Just cut the bull and the mean crap. Yeah, stop doing that. And then you've got manipulation. For some, drama is a tool used to control situations, gain sympathy, or achieve a hidden agenda, often linked to personality disorders. Let's see. Let me see something. Personality disorders that include compulsive lying. Compulsive lying, often linked to personality disorders, can manifest as a chronic behavior that disrupts relationships and is associated with conditions like narcissistic and antisocial personality disorders. But there is such a thing as compulsive lying. I mean, it's really a thing. And there's also a thing about there is compulsive lying. There is here. Okay, I got thrown off, y'all. Somebody made a mean comment. Let's see. Narcissistic personality disorder. Individuals with NPD may lie to enhance their self-image or manipulate others. Their lies often serve to boost their ego or create a false narrative of superiority. And then you got antisocial, borderline, histrionic, impulse control disorders. A lot of these disorders bring out the lies, and they play well, I know like with borderline, a lot of times you've got a lot of emotional distress, and there's a fear of abandonment and unstable self-image. There's a lot of that. I think that sometimes there's a lot of cluster Bs in our communities. Boom. So it is sad. It is sad that, it's sad that somebody can come in here and say, what I just said. I'm honest about, right? I don't like the drama. And I'm not dishing it out. I'm talking about real life stuff. Let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to find another. Oh, I just spelled that wrong. Oh, so you get a dopamine rush from drama. Drama is emotionally intense, and that's exactly why it feels so irresistible. That is all it is. We crave drama. We crave it. And I'm not going to say I don't watch drama, because I do. It's I don't know, it fulfills certain needs I have, but I'm not going to put the drama ahead of my well-being. If I start feeling like this is too much, then I'll just back off. But not everybody can do that. Have you ever wondered why some people are always caught up in toxic relationships, gossip, or intense emotional conflicts? Or why reality TV, social media feuds, and scandals keep us glued to our screens? Even if we say we hate drama, many of us can't seem to look away. Our brains are wired to be drawn to chaos. Why? From dopamine rushes to deep-seated psychological patterns, there are real reasons why drama feels so addictive. So drama triggers a dopamine rush, negativity bias, why we can't look away. Our brains are wired to focus on negative events more than positives. Why is that? Negativity bias. In ancient times, this survival instinct helped humans stay alert to danger. Today, it explains why we're drawn to news about scandals, breakups, and conflicts. Gossip spreads faster than good news. That's what I was talking about in sports. We've got the gossip about, the players, or this coach I was talking about just got fired. Being boring will always be boring and lame. Let me see. Fear of abandonment. I could see that for B. Sad if she's just lost and messed up to act like this. There can't be happiness. Drama gives me panic attacks. It's unbearable sometimes. Yeah, it can be really difficult to deal with. And people can make fun of me for admitting that I don't like to be attacked, and people saying that I'm doing stuff that I never even thought of doing. Terrible things they say. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh, that's fine if they say that. I don't care. I do. And I admit it. That's not a weakness. Boring Barb will always be boring and lame. Well, I mean, why are you over here? If I'm so boring and lame, then why even take your time to come over here and tell me that? Y'all been telling me that for years, but I'm still here. I'm still here. I may not have 2,000 people watching, but I'm still here. And where's your channel? What do you do on your channel that is so thrilling that you have time to come over here and tell me that I'm boring and lame? I don't know. Makes no sense to me. Fight or flight. I do. I think it's causes opposite of my behaviors, even true crime. I can't imagine choosing to do anything criminal. Let's see. Little bits of drama might be okay, but it's starting. Hey, Peace Panda. It's starting to get to be too much. We're supposed to be adults, but some of these creators are more like toddlers. Apologies to real toddlers. Well, yeah, the toddlers are, well, we've been hearing this. I've been around here for about 3 or 4 years. And it ramps up and we think it can't get any worse. And then you've got people bringing up somebody's essay from when they were a child. And you've got somebody bringing up somebody's DV from when they were an adult and reading it all out and showing it and talking about somebody's very, very private information. And that's not okay. And if you think that that's okay, that's your deal. But come in here, and act like that this is boring because we're talking about things and we're not yelling and we're not mad, we're not chewing everybody out, we're not talking about people's privates and stuff like that. It's boring to you, then go. Peace Panda, you're fine. Rocky Lennon, I like you. I think you should be monetized. Please try to get monetized again. I was Rocky, and I have I'm making progress actually. Going live is how you get the watch time up, and I've been going live like about every other day, and I'm making progress. I just saw that this morning. I'm like, cool. So thank you. I can't wait. I think it'll be fun. And I don't care if people are saying that I only came back to get monetized. I came to this community because that's where I was watching, right? And of course I want to get remonetized, and I'm not going to get monetized by people who are watching me and then leave. But it doesn't even make any sense, voices. You're so mean. I know they want drama. Go. I'm sure there's drama going on right now. Is that why we watch? So we keep ourselves aware liars do exist and know when to get away from some people, know when to use that fight or flight. Yes, I think it's very damaging, Betty Dan Boop. You've seen people hurt by the lies they're spreading. And I think that you never know. And what happened with BJ's DV was that, she's still in a situation where I'd be surprised if it hasn't happened again. And I would be terrified that it would happen again. And we can't really berate her for not leaving. I mean, yes, I've probably said things, but everybody has to leave on their own time. And you need a plan to do that. You can't just have a big fight and walk out, because chances are when you do that is when it's going to blow up. And so you have to be careful. You had a voice and something to say. You do whatever you want. Exactly. I have every right to be on my channel. I can be as boring or as exciting as possible. And if I'm boring, then I just don't get that. I don't get that. Who cares why you came back? Yeah, exactly. I came back because I saw the train wreck getting ready to fall off the rails. And once I cared about this person a lot, Beatlemaniac, exactly, me too. And I felt like I had something to share on that because I had reached out to her recently, even though we hadn't talked in years. And then they're also saying that I was all up in Brittany's channel. No, I wasn't. No, I've never been all up in Brittany's. I've never been, I don't even know if I've been on her panel years ago, though. And she was on mine years ago. It's rarely a one-off. It's dangerous for all involved. Thanks, Olap. Well, if people want to, I've said this for the last 3 years or 4 years. If people want to be involved in the drama, if that doesn't make you feel bad or cause you stress or make you overeat or whatever your thing is, do it. I don't care. I don't care if it does stress you out. You need to care for yourself, right? You got to care for yourself. And taking care of myself involves, partially, I want to have a YouTube channel. It's here. I've paid for a year's worth of like StreamYard and stuff, and I'm going to use it. And this is my place where I can say whatever. And if nobody wants to watch, then they don't have to. Yes, I remember those days. People would meet up for coffee and chat. Nobody's fighting and nobody's talking shit on each other. And we would figure out the world, right? But even in churches, there's gossip. There's gossip everywhere, and, drama, gossip, whatever you want to call it. And reality TV, that you've got that, people arguing and fighting, and people get hooked on toxic relationship patterns. And some of that you can pull from, watching a creator that you identify with in some way, in a negative way like that. And it's toxic patterns that you have, and they remind you of that. And maybe it's good. You see how they're overcoming their issues. Then so chaos for normal feels normal for some people because that's what we're used to. That's why a woman will date the same type of man over and over. It's because it's like their dad or some relationship, and they just keep getting into these same bad relationships. And so, hey, Perfectly Imperfect, good to see you. Let's see. Hey, sunset gazing. You missed the first 50 minutes. Thank you for saying that, because, you know, they want to come at me for just being me. And, you know, I'm just over here being me. So I appreciate that somebody appreciates me. But you can stop the cycle, and you can ask yourself, if you're one of these people who's having a problem with the drama, do I often feel drawn to drama even when it's stressful? Do I feel uncomfortable when life is peaceful? Do you feel uncomfortable if you're like, oh, the house is clean, the kids are all settled, or you might not have kids, but I love that time of the day when I've actually done something, and not just because I'm sitting there because my pain level's so bad, but when I've actually, like today, you know, I've cooked food that I can eat for the next 3 or 4 days. I've, you know, taken care of some laundry, done some stuff, doing this. And when I get through with this, I only have a couple little things I have to do, and then I can just go. And that's not boring to me, right? I'm not bored in my life. Okay, Betty Damn Boop, thanks for being here. I'm enjoying your streams and commentary. Thank you. And I promised y'all when I did come back, and I'm not going to do, yes, we brought up Brittany, but I'm not going to review Brittany every day or any of that, because it's already done everywhere. But what I can do is give my take on some of that, and give y'all things to think about. I'm not here to solve your problem. I'm just giving you something to think about if you have trouble with it, if it's a problem for you. Mabel's bored all the time. Poor Mabel. Allegedly Mabel. Or allegedly Maple. Her name's Maple. Don't call her Maple. They sound the same, right? So, first of all, you got to recognize, or is this making me feel bad? Or watching drama, does it make me feel bad? Does it make me feel bad when somebody I like gets talked about in a bad way? I'm sure that the people who really care about Brittany hate anybody who talks about her. And some creators have a huge following that go around and do everything they can for their leader, when she doesn't even want to do that. I'm thinking, probably doesn't even, they don't have their own life and do your own channel. Why you gotta take up for this creator and run around the internet being like, hey, Barb's boring. Or I make a post and you gotta make 14 posts about it, telling me not to do this and that. I'm not doing anything. And if I want to, I will, but geez, like crazy. So you can find healthier sources of excitement, like adventure sports or fitness challenges, engage in creative hobbies like music, writing, or art. Think about the time you spend on these rooms. Like, check your phone. Does your phone give you a thing every week of how many minutes or how many hours you've spent on streaming on YouTube, watching it? You could have learned an instrument. You can teach yourself piano and guitar. You can do art. You can make art whether you're, quote, good at it or not. You can do that. You can do, writing, anything creative. Do something creative. And that's going to give you a lot more pleasure than all this stuff on here. Set personal or career goals that push you forward. Can you imagine when I went back to school at 40, I had a full-time, or in my 30s, and I had a full-time job, and I had church activities that I did that required, about 8 hours a week total. About 8 hours a week total. And then what if I was in here doing all this? There's no way I could have gotten my education. I mean, it's just, where are you going to spend your time? And if just one person hears that and makes a change, it's worth it to me. Like if one person says, well, I could, I could go back to school, or I could learn a craft, or I could go try something, go walk, go get it, go get some exercise, do something. Mabel says, I never took that you were going to cover her. It seemed like you were trying to help her with her clue. Well, I was in a way, but you sort of have to bring somebody up in order to get their attention. But I just feel like Brittany is stuck in a cycle that she can't get out of for whatever reason, and she's not going to be able to do true crime until she can make some kind of break from all the drama. And as long as you're in the middle of lawsuits and everything, I just don't see how you function. You can say you're not worried about it, but when you've got an anti-slap against you and they're going to come at you for your money, I would really think that you would just settle in on, focus and do. But now if there's a drug issue in there, that's not going to be possible. You can't function on that. Not everyone that covers her is a hater. Calling out her behavior doesn't make you so. I agree with that, Mabel. Heck, it's a great feeling. You can sit back and watch the sunset, or if it's later, the stars in the sky, and relax. It is. It's beautiful. Well, we don't know if she's the one buying bots, but because we don't know, and there's no way to know. But if she's doing that, the whole thing with the C&Ds that went out that were crazy, all the money that was raised for those C&Ds, where's the rest of it? Is the rest of it botting people? We don't know. I don't know if that's her. It looks like her, but we don't know that. Brittany supporters say the dumbest things, always threatening me with God. Well, God, Olaf, I'm rebuking you. You're the devil. People are hurt. Amber says people are hurt by lies that people run with. I think it's injustice that makes me want truth when there's drama. There is a lot of injustice in the world. Well, Amber, I agree with that. I mean, I've had nasty, terrible stuff said about me that, things that I was supposedly doing that I never even thought of doing. And there's no way you can combat that on here other than to just show up and be who you are. And by running away, I guess I didn't do that, but I've learned and I've grown from it, and I'm here to stay. So if they're trying to run me off by saying I'm boring, then keep on. Olaf, they just going things for Jesus. Sunset gazing, what? Doing things for Jesus. Whatever RX or health problems that causes her to nod. Got signed out from what? Whatever RX or health problems that causes her to nod, repeat articles or videos too many times, she needs help. Yeah, postcards. I've been saying that too. If she's not on, if she's on maintenance medication, it's messed up. You need to take it at a different time, or tell your doctor that this is happening and maybe take it at bedtime instead of when you're live. If it's not a drug, then there's something wrong. The brain's clicking off or something. It's causing you to nod out. Olaf says, I personally think Brittany is just a bad person, sober or not. Yeah, I mean, I would have disagreed with you a while back, but the more I see that yeah, I'm not seeing the sweet side. I mean, I think that she comes on as the sweet Christian lady, and that puts off a lot of people, because then you're saying Jesus and all that, and you're cursing, and your boyfriend's back there saying the worst stuff imaginable, and you get physically angry when your daughter calls or texts you. You tell your child that you aren't asleep, and you get onto your kids for waking you up. I mean, there's just a lot there. So I'm not sure if she's a good person, Olaf. I know. We know nothing. I do hope she gets the help she needs. She is denying she's nodding. Well, let me just say this. If you're not on anything, including maintenance medication, then why do you half-ass show your test results? If everything's clean and you're not on any of that stuff, then you'd have a clean one and you would just, you just mark through your social, mark through your whatever, your address and everything, your patient number, any of that stuff. But it's still got your name on there to show it. If everything was clean, that's all you had to do. But showing one that didn't test for maintenance drugs doesn't clear you of that. And it took so long to get there. Maybe you just made one. So that's that kind of stuff. Be honest and open, and then we won't question you. Hey, Great Dane lover, been at the Hobby Lobby. What'd you get? That Southern charm she tries to put out turns people off to religion if she's one of the faithful. Yeah, it totally turns off. And my personal story is that I've been involved in churches and have been turned off by similar things. And so I don't even think about going to church. She sure showed Craig's. Yeah, she showed his whole one, but never showed hers. Champy. Uh-oh, now I got the dogs up. So at 38 to 40, they could go learn a trade in just a year or two. Welders are probably still in high demand. Well, you could do maintenance like air conditioning, HVAC. You could learn, I don't know. There's a lot of things you could do. There's also actually a lot of things you could do to having a real job that would be more fulfilling than being upset all the time on YouTube. Like all the negativity that comes with it. When you talk about being involved in lawsuits and all that stuff, it's this crazy. Set boundaries and protect your energy. Not every fight, rumor, or argument deserves your attention. Learn to walk away from unnecessary conflict. Limit your exposure to toxic people or social media drama. Focus on relationships that bring peace and growth instead of stress. Again, if you're fine with it and you're enjoying it and it's not causing you, any kind of stress in your body and your life is calm and peaceful, you're weird. But if that's how it is, then keep watching it. Amber says, indeed, but when questioned or even offered help, she claims people want to use her for views, which incites hate against the creator, which causes more drama. Yeah, they're saying that about me. She said that. Look, here's what she said about me.
The scoop with Barb, girl, what are you doing? You know that those views and subs aren't going to last, right?
That's what she said. Peace Panda. Okay. People just think that that they're like superior, like somebody coming at me who doesn't even have their own channel, really, and they're telling me that I need to do that, you need to do this, and you don't need to do that, and I'm like, what? It's crazy. So it depends on what people want in their life. They can set the boundaries and protect their energy and have peace and growth, or they can be in the middle of everybody else's chaos, and that way you don't have to look at yourself. It's a diversion. I don't know how she would do in the real world because she doesn't like authority figures. Hey, look, here's an answer for you. If you've been addicted to chaos, a calm and peaceful life might feel real strange at first, right? But over time, stability can become the most rewarding kind of excitement. When you find, if you're seeking inner peace and you find that, if you really have peace in your life, And I don't think somebody who has total peace in their life is watching a lot of the drama. But if they do, it's something you're not going to want to give up. If you have peace, if you know how to be calm and enjoy your life, because we only get this one, you only get this one, and its stability can become the most rewarding kind of excitement. Instead of emotional highs and lows, real joy comes from inner peace and meaningful connections. I mean, and isn't that real? Like, isn't that true? Have you experienced that? Like, you have a real friendship, and on here you might think somebody's your friend, and the next minute they're literally stabbing you in the back. I know it's not the same for, hey, Northern Light, I know it's not the exact same thing for creators as it is for people who are not creators. But as creators, you get a lot of negativity. And so you have to deal with that. And some people really don't care what other people think. And some people like me, yeah, it's hard for me to deal with, but I think I've grown since before, and I think that I'm able to handle it better now. So will I be able to do this for another year or two? I don't know. I hope so. So I just want y'all to think about these things. And I think it helps to know, well, I'm drawn to this because I like this because, and I'm like, I suffer from a lot of pain, pain in my spine. And so, and then I also have depression and anxiety. And if I sit here and I hold all this inside and I don't talk to anybody about it, then it all blows up for me. Well, I called a friend of mine the other day. She has a channel and we chatted and I felt so much better. And she's like, instead of doing this, if something happens, just call me. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Right? You just have ways that you deal with stuff. And I choose to deal with, the way I am right now. So that's about all I got. I just wanted to put that out there for y'all to think about. If you're having trouble, back away and go do something fun. Go do something that you do enjoy. Turn on the TV. There's a lot of shows on TV, or watch something different on YouTube. Maybe you don't have a way to watch TV. Hey, Sarah. Good to see you. We're about ready to leave out of here. So, again, I appreciate y'all for being here and watching and being nice. And I will, I'll be back the next time I think of something that we could talk about that's interesting and that I might be able to, be a help with to y'all. So, yeah, you can rewind and watch. Thank you. So again, I will see y'all next time and have a thank you. Thank you. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day and be kind to yourself.